Well, April is Financial Literacy Month, so we invited some guest speakers to talk to you boys about financial literacy, some budgeting, Rule of 72, some other topics. So we have Mr. Franklin and Miss Christi here with us. So I'll let them go ahead and take over, and they can introduce themselves and go ahead and start.
Hi, everybody. My name is Christi Ketchum, and I am with the Sacramento Sister Circle. Ms. Felicia is actually a part of that as well. And she's also my accountant, and she does my taxes and other business things with me. And it is my pleasure to be able to present with you all today. I've also brought my father. His name is Calvin Franklin. He's going to be presenting to us today in regards to just what does it mean to be your own financial, expert and know what you need to do in order to how to invest your money, how to do your savings, the rule of 72. These are things that I wished I learned in school, and a lot of us learned in school. And so this may be information that you might not actually be able to do right now, but it's something that you should actually know so that when you get an opportunity to think about what you want to invest your money in, how money grows, you'll know all of these different things. So I'm going to introduce my dad. He also is a man. And so I just thought it was important for him to talk about why it was important for him to get into financial services and what he does with his clients. And then we'll get an opportunity to do Q&A, to have more conversations. And then also these are some questions and things that you're going to learn that you can talk to your parents about. So I'm really excited. And I thank my dad for being a part of it today. And I'm going to pass it over to him. He's Calvin Franklin. He's a financial advisor. He does a lot of different things, and he'll tell you more about himself and also personally why it's important for him not only to do this work, but why it's important to teach other young men like you.
All right, guys, how you superstars doing this evening? Well, I just want to say my name is Calvin Franklin, and yes, I'm Christy's dad, and I'm happy that you guys are on here. When I was your age, I wish I had someone to teach me what I'm going to teach you tonight. I'm going to talk to you about how to become wealthy. I know you guys got goals and dreams, because when I was a kid, I had dreams. I've always wanted to own a Rolls Royce. Why? Because I saw this guy restored one, and I was his gopher. A gopher is when you go for stuff for him when they need it. Mm-hmm. So all my life growing up, I said, I'm going to buy me a Rolls Royce. And the time when I thought for sure I had enough money to buy one, guys, I didn't have enough money to make a down payment on the hubcaps to the car because it was that expensive. But today, because of being disciplined and staying focused, I own that Rolls Royce. In fact, this is my second one. So what I'm going to talk to you about is how you can be totally financially independent. Independent means you don't need nobody to help you with finances. You have them. You see, I want you to always keep in mind that no one cares more about you than you. Don't ever forget that. So therefore, that means you got to take care of you. So let's talk about some stuff that really irked me growing up is that I always had to depend on somebody else to give me money to go do what I wanted to do. Well, I'm talking to you today, so you don't have to worry about that. We're going to talk about how you can make money, and then we're going to talk about investing. The myth that they have is that you go to school, get a good education, and get a good job and put your money in the bank. Well, only part of that is correct. And let's talk about the part that's correct. And then I'm going to do a presentation and talk about me as I go through this presentation. The true facts is you go to school, you get a good education and get a good job, and you invest your money. The real deal is to go to school, get a good education, and own your business. That way, no one controls the income that they pay you, and then you invest your money. That's going to be the new story to tell because that's the one that's going to get you financially independent. Okay? Y'all with me on that? It's okay. Y'all can wave your hand or something, let me know you hear me. Yeah, there you go. Give a brother amen every now and then, okay? So let's go have some fun here. I got involved in this business so I could help correct the injustice that's being done to families like yours and mine. When my mother, she had a life insurance policy she had paid on for over 25 years. And when she died, there was no money in the policy to bury her. We had to come up with money to bury my mother. And we didn't know. We just had to go find the money. We knew nothing about finances. And I want you to know tonight that it has been a conversation with the financial industry that they won't teach what I'm going to teach you tonight, so that everybody can go to work and work for them and bring your money and give it to them. That's why they said go to school, get good education, and get a good job and put your money in the bank. So let's get into this. Tonight, we want to talk about your goals and dreams. What is it that you dream of? I know y'all young, but even when you at this age, you're still looking to do something as you get older. You might want to live like this, and you can live like this. Everything I'm going to talk to you about tonight, you can do it. And don't you let nobody tell you that you can't do it, because you can. Cash is king. So that's what we're going to talk about, how to create cash. And as long as you stay out of trouble, you ain't never got to worry about nothing. You will live your dream life. That's a guarantee, okay? So let's keep it moving. I'm gonna pull up my light so you can follow me. So let's talk about what is your quality of life? Everything goes around what's your quality of life. As you can see here, do you want more time with your family or more money with your family? See, right now, at the age you're at right now, you can become multi-millionaires as we continue to get older. When you get to my age, there's no reason why you shouldn't have $1 or $2 million in your investment account. You're going to need it when you get there, because that's what it's going to take for you to live. So tonight is truly all about you and your quality of life, okay? And so you're going to be able to answer me anything. To tell you who we are, my company's called Primerica. We're named one of America's 50 most trustworthy companies in the industry by Forbes magazine. And so I want you guys to know that if I could have been taught what I'm going to teach you right now, man, today I'd be a multi-millionaire. I'm working on the multi part. So therefore, we're going to do that. I got involved so I could do what? Live the lifestyle I've always dreamed of. I got involved because I wanted to help correct the injustice on the education. You see, people said knowledge is power. Knowledge is good to have, but applied knowledge is power. So what I'm going to teach you, you're going to focus on applying, and you have the power you want. So let's go and talk about some more stuff. See, you want to invest for success, because money is always made through investing. I want y'all to look up and listen to me. Take notes if you have to, because what I'm going to tell you is going to change your life forever. When you turn 18, you should have at least $200,000. So let's look at this. Let's get into some stuff, okay? I want to talk to you about becoming an owner of your money and not a loaner. What's the difference? Well, let's go look at the difference. The difference is when you start getting and start working at your age right now, check this out, guys. You can make tremendous amounts of money right now at your age. You don't even have to go ask nobody to give you a job. You create your job. How do you do that? Well, number one, you know, people got leaves in their yard. Go buy you a leaf, a rake, and man, get some plastic bags. And people, you walk up to them, knock on their door and be real nice, man, they'll let you, they'll pay you to rake their leaves because they don't want to do it. Then right now you can make money another way. People throw away plastic bottles and aluminum cans, and it's a lot of money in that. I even save them right now today. I put them in my garage and I get enough, I take them. And every time I've gone, I've made $100 to $200 just turning in those recycled cans. So you make the money, so you own the money. But what we've been taught is to do what? Put the money in the bank. And what do the bank do? Here's what the bank do. After you give it to them, they promise you less than 1% rate of return on the money. They in turn take the same identical money and they take it to the global economy. I am a member of the New York Stock Exchange. I hold 3 investment licenses. So I'm teaching you what these people don't want you to know. We accept all monies. All monies come to us, whether it's coming from the bank or coming from you directly. What you want to do is not go through this process, because here you become the loaner. You see, you made the money, so the money is yours, and you put it in the bank thinking they're going to give you something for it, and they don't. They take it over here and bring it to us, and they make like a 10% rate of return on this money, or 12. And I'm going to show you what that equals in dollars, because see, if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense, okay? Remember that. So what I'm going to show you is how to become the owner. That process was the loaner. The owner is they take the money and bypass the middle person. The banks, credit unions, and insurance companies are considered the middle people, because they have to take your money right over here to the economy like everybody else do. The only difference is when they do that is in their name and not your name. So they get paid the high rates of return. I'm going to show it to you in just a moment here. So therefore, I'm teaching you today that I'll be around to help you. talk to you, teach you, work with you, and I'm not going to charge you nothing. You just got to go do it, and we're going to get wealthy together, okay? Let's talk about some rules. Have you guys ever played any games? Yeah. Now, are you good at playing a game? You can unmute yourself and go and say something, sir. You raise your hand. Amari?
It's Amariah.
Oh, Amariah. I apologize, sir. So, now what game do you play?
I play. Me and my friend created our own game outside, and we called it Super Legends. So whatever superhero you want, or you can just use one of the Marvel, or yeah, you can be creative and use your own imagination.
Okay, I like that part. Your imagination will take you where you want to go. So now, do you have rules in the game?
Yes. You can't is me and my friend are we like to wrestle, so you wrestle game. So there's two rules. There's no punching and there's no hitting in the private part.
Okay, good. That's important. That's extremely important. No hitting in the private part. I'm glad that's a rule. So if they do break the rule, then they don't win the game, do they? In order to win the game, you got to know the rules to the game, right? But check this out. In order to win the money game, because it's a game too, I'm going to teach you the rules to the money game so you can always win them. So let's go have some fun. Now, look, it says, in order to manage your money, you need to know rule number 1 to the money game. It's called, and we're going to talk about that, the next rule. Then the other rule is you got to learn how life works financially, because everything revolves around finances. It doesn't matter what it is, it revolves around finances. And as long as you have enough of it, you never have a problem. You can solve any concern as long as you got enough of it, okay? So let's get into one of the major rules when it comes to money. It's called the rule of 72. Have you ever heard of the rule of 72? Anybody? All right, we can really have some fun. This rule is powerful when it's working for you, and it's the most deadliest rule when it's working against you. The banks, the credit unions, and the insurance companies don't want you to know what I'm going to teach you because they get wealthy off of you. So let's look at this. The rule of 72 works like this. You take a number, divide it into 72, and whatever the results is, lets you know how many years it takes for your money to double. So now let's just say that you got money sitting in the bank, you got 10 grand, and you're getting 3% interest on it. Well, you take the 3, divide it into 72, and now your $10,000 is worth $20,000 24 years later. So if you add 24 years to your current age today, do you think $20,000 is enough money? No way.
No, you answer the question.
Do you think that would be enough money? Absolutely not. But you're 24 years older, and that's what you have. So the banker says, okay, we understand, Amariah. If you just go ahead and leave the money and let it double one more time, you have twice as much. So now 24 years go by again. A total of 48 years. You're going to retire from work because nobody works 48 years. And all you have for retirement is $40,000 because you put your money in the bank or the credit union or the insurance company. You did those things. So here is what the bank do. They take that same identical $10,000 you gave them and they bring it to people like us. We're the investment company. We give them 6% rate of return on the money guaranteed. So now you take 6 divided into 72 and it goes 12 times. So that money doubles every 12 years now. When it's doubled once for you, it's doubled twice for them. In the same 48 years, that $10,000 has quadrupled to $160,000 because you placed it in the bank and they invested with us. We paid them $160,000 and they give you 40 and they keep the other 120. You think that's fair? I don't either. But this is what happens to us because we don't know the rules of the game. we lose money. Now look at this.
Hold on, before we go ahead, if it's okay, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
So if I put, so where is this $10,000 coming from? Like, is there just $10,000 like on your name when you're born?
No. The $10,000. Just say you worked and you saved $10,000 and you got it sitting in that bank.
So it only doubles. It'll go up basically like 10% in 24 years.
No, it just doubled by 10,000 in 24 years.
Okay.
Well, how come the rate of interest? So it's like 2%.
So therefore, when you're looking,
3%.
when you're looking here, the banks promise you 3, but they're gonna get 6 or 12. We're gonna talk about that next.
Okay. So if the bank is giving you 3% interest per 24 years, who would I go to get the 6% every 12 years?
You're talking to him right now, me.
Okay. So I give you my money instead of the bank.
We would set up an investment account with an investment company in your name instead of you setting up a savings account at the bank. That's correct.
Okay.
Work together.
Okay.
So it don't even have to be 10,000. It could be 5,000. It could be 2,000.
So the point is that when you work with different investors, there's different companies. So we work with Lincoln, we work with other reputable companies. They're reputable companies, they're licensed, your money is insured. That's who you will put your money in. You have an agent or you have someone to help you create those accounts, which is my dad, because he has the license, which is a federal license that you have to do that. And then that's how you're able to do it outside of the banks. But a lot of folks that are low income don't know that they have that opportunity, because all we're told and taught is that we should just put our money in the banks, or a lot of us keep our money at home, which we also know doesn't actually grow our money either if we keep it at home. And then it also is the risk of someone breaking into your home or something like that. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about investors. We're talking about investment companies and other entities outside of banks. Does that make sense?
Okay. So how old would I have to be to start put my money into an investment company?
You can start right now. Your parents would have to be the custodian. And then when you turn 18, you can take over it. Okay. If you're already 18, you can just set the account up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And we'll get more into what I'm talking about. Here, I'm just teaching the rules so you can win the game.
And understand how it works. So
now, the other part of this, mutual funds is where you're going to be investing your money. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But there's 12% rate of return. Mutual funds been averaging a double-digit rate of return since 1928. So when the banks tell you that you can't get it, that's not true. Okay, don't buy that. You believe what I'm teaching you today. So now look at this. So if they got 12% rate of return on your money, 12 goes into 72 6 times. So what that means, this money double every 6 years. In the same 48 years, they would make $2.5 million off your 10 and give you 40, and they keep the other 2.5 million. So what I know to be for sure, that if it's safe enough for the bank, credit unions, and insurance companies to take your 10 and make 2.5 million and give you 40, wouldn't you agree it's safe enough for you to do the same thing with your own money if you knew how to? See, that's what I'm here to teach you. If it's safe enough for them to do it, it's safe enough for you to do it. Now, check this out. All of y'all going to be around the next 48 years. So you should have a worst case scenario, 2.5 million. Now, listen to this. By having 2.5 million, and now, people always told you that money don't grow on trees. Well, that's not true. Money do grow on trees. You just got to get a money tree. This 2.5 million is considered a money tree because every year you earn 10% rate of return on the 2.5 million. It'll pay you $250,000 a year to live off of, never touching the principal. And the principal is the 2.5 million. So your interest is $250,000 a year to live off of. Then 6 years later, it doubles to 5 million. Now you're averaging a 10% rate of return on 5 million. That gives you $500,000 to live off of every year. Mm-hmm. So now this is the ownership. So we're teaching you now how to own your money. Over here, being in the bankers, you're loaning your money. And these rules work. These rules apply. You can become wealthy, okay? Now, check this out. How do you, pardon me, somebody had a question? Okay, how do you win the game if you don't know the rules? If I don't teach you this, or somebody don't teach it to you, you'll never know, and you'll go do like everybody else, keep putting their money in that bank. That's not a good place. The bank have its purpose, and that's where you put money in a checking account so you can pay stuff. But you never put investment money, long-term monies into a bank. Okay. The other one, who would benefit from learning this rule? Now that I'm teaching it to you guys, who's going to benefit? You are. Then check this out. Shouldn't have taught this in school. Do you know they don't teach this in nobody's school? Elementary, junior high, middle school, senior high. They don't teach it in colleges, universities, trading schools, board schools, vocational school. They don't teach this because they don't want you to know. And I'm saying to you today that we want you to know. Now, check this out. Without introducing us to your family and friends, how would they learn about the rule of 72 and to grow their money? Because you want everybody to be wealthy. That's why I'm teaching this to you today, because I want you to be wealthy. It's free knowledge, but it works when you apply it. So that's the major rule when it comes to growing money. Now, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the ways money is earned. Now, when you're putting your money in a mutual fund, money grows three ways. You make money three ways in a mutual fund. Can anybody tell me how many ways do you earn interest on your money when you put it in a bank?
Don't they like loan other people your money and then they just give it back to you?
They loan other people your money, but they only give you a piece of the interest. So you'll earn interest on your money one way. Here, there's three ways. Let's talk about it. Number one is dividends. Dividends mean that you earned a profit. You put $100 in, it grew to $200. That's considered as growth as well as a dividend. You made money. Then capital gains. Capital gains means you made even more money on a capital gain because it profited you. It grew past what it was valued at. So you made a capital gain. And then the other thing about money is capital appreciation. What is capital appreciation? Appreciation means it grew from $100 to $200 to $300 to $400, and all you invested was $100. So dividends, capital gains, and appreciation is the three ways your money grow, and other institutions won't give that to you. They're only going to give you interest. See, we're not even talking about interest here. We're talking about dividends. Why? Because it pays large sums of money, and that's what they don't want you to know. Let's talk about the 5 reasons why you want to own a mutual fund. Reason number 1, you have professional money managers. These are people that manage money and they have experience. The difference in a banker and a professional money manager, they just sit around and shuffle papers. They move money from account to account. They don't do nothing else. I don't see them as working either. But these guys got years of experience that they're using to grow your money for you. The other thing is diversification, meaning that there's 150 companies in one mutual fund, and your $100 is being divided amongst those 150 companies. Once you start diversifying your money, the diversification reduces the risk of loss because you got money going in all those companies. And then mutual funds have laws to prevent you from losing all your money. So I'm excited about that. Then you got growth potential because you're investing in different companies. Some companies grow a lot faster than other companies, but over time, all of them grow because they're in the fund. And if they're not growing, the fund professional money manager, he removed those companies and put another company in because he has to grow the money.
What is a mutual fund?
A mutual fund is a pool of investors that people put money, that everybody put their money in to invest so that they can then earn a substantial rate of return on that money and grow that money for themselves. That's what a mutual fund has got, a bunch of companies considered in that one fund, which is like 150 of them.
What kind of companies?
The kind of companies that's in a mutual fund is companies like Nike stock, Sara Lee, Boeing Jets, all the major players like toilet paper, food industry, shoe industry, whatever industry is out there, mutual funds have that industry inside of one of the funds so that you can be buying those shares. Like when you guys buy cell phones, you pay $500 or $1,000 for a cell phone. If you invest your money, you end up owning the cell phone company because you're investing in the company and that's going to grow your money. So that's what a mutual fund does. Then affordability. Well, you can start investing with little as $25 a month and earn a double-digit rate of return. So therefore, you have enough money to start investing. It's just no one have taught you that. We set up accounts with little as $25 a month and earn this double-digit rate of return that we're talking about. Now says liquidity. Liquidity means if you call up the fund, you want your money, they got 7 days to give it to you. So you can get quick access to the money that you've invested. So that's what liquidity. This is why these 5 reasons you want to have your money in mutual funds, because your money has been well taken care of. Now, let's go look at some examples, and we're almost done here. Let's go look at some examples of how money grows and works. So let's look at here. Here's a hypothetical. Right now, at the beginning, you open up a mutual fund account. You have nothing in it. So you're going to start investing for the next 35 years, averaging a rate of return of minimum 9%. At the end of those 35 years, your account balance would be at a minimum $148,000, and your contribution is $50 a month. If you just putting $50 a month in, at the end of these 35 years, you're going to have $148,000. This graph shows the growth of the money, but this shows the breakdown of it. As you can see, you started with nothing. Your monthly contributions over the next 35 years was $21,000, but the interest earned was $127,000. So when you add those two, that's how you come up with the $148,000. So you put in 14%, the fund gave you the other 86, because that's how mutual funds work. And this is how banks and credit unions get wealthy, because they earn this types of rates of return and give you the lesser. So let's look at this. If you invested $100 a month, in 35 years, you have $296,000 worst case scenario. Let's go look at what the fund did. Your contribution over that time was $42,000. You earned $254,000 in interest earned. That's how you get money to work for you, and you don't work for money. And then at some point in your life, you never ever have to work again because you're applying these principles. If you invested $150 a month, you have $444,000 in 35 years from now. Let's go look at what happened here. That means over those 35 years, you contribute $63,000, but it earned $381,000. So together, it gives you that $444,000. I'm sharing this to you because I want you to know that you can start with small amounts over a long period of time. You can have large sums of money waiting there for you, as long as you stay focused and as long as you stay committed. Here's going to be the last graph about the illustrations of money. If you're putting away $200 a month. Now, I know at your age you're at right now, you probably don't have $200 or $150 a month to invest, but you can invest with 25. You want to create the habit of investing because, guys, we are creatures of habit. Our lifestyle is ran by the habits that we have. So if you have a habit of investing and saving money, your lifestyle will keep you wealthy. So look at this. If you get to the point where you're working now and you put away $200 a month, you'll have $592,000. Let's go look at the breakdown. That means over those years of investing $200, you invested $84,000. Your interest earned was $508,000. That gives you that total of the $500,000 that you've earned. You see how your money works for you guys? This is how the money works for the bank, credits, and insurance companies, and that's why they've been telling you to put your money in the bank. Put it in there just so that you can pay some stuff, but you invest your money. Go to school, get a good education, own a business, and invest your money. and you're going to be wealthy beyond that. And then you teach that to your children. As I end this presentation, guys, you see this right here? I want you to take a look. Mr. Martin, I want you to look at this. Look at my screen. You see this canvas right here? It's blank, huh? There's nothing on it but this guy. I'm talking to everybody, but I'm picking on him because he's the only one I can see right now. So this blank canvas is your life right now today. Your life is a blank canvas. You can paint it and design it the way you want it, and that's what you want to do. You want to be the creator and the artist of your life so that when you get ready to retire, means stop working, you make sure you're on track to live the retirement you always dreamed about. Being wealthy, traveling, doing whatever you want to do. This is that time. Guys, listen, I appreciate you allowing me to speak. I appreciate you listening to me. We can open up for questions and answers at this moment because you guys can stay and will always be wealthy if you just apply what I taught you. And I'm going to give you my number. If you want to call and talk to me, hey, I'll talk with you. You may come in your office and work with you. I'll come in there and work with you. And if your parents want to talk to me about helping you set up accounts to become wealthy, then we can do that too. And there's no cost. I won't charge them nothing to help you become wealthy. Because guess what? When you become wealthy, you might be their retirement program. They might come live with you because you got so much money.
All right, let's give Mr. Franklin, my dad, a round of applause. So now we want to open it up to questions. Do people have any questions? And do you understand why we felt like it was important to share this information with you all today? Like, what did you learn?
Okay, go right ahead. It's what's her name?
Joaquin?
I learned that you could like become wealthy and like get a lot of money by not doing that much stuff, by just saving.
Like putting your money in savings. So don't put it in a jar or underneath your bed, but actually put it in something that invests and your money will grow. Yes. Shahad, I'd like to know, is that how you say your name? It seems like you were listening. I'd love to hear what your thoughts were.
I thought it was pretty interesting. I think I'm gonna look into it because I mean I got some good money that's just sitting in my bank, and I need something to do with it. So
yes. How old are you?
15.
Yes.
Yeah,
But we can
so I got.
He works. So yeah,
so
he
I got
works.
some good money.
Man, that's awesome. I'm happy to hear that.
So just think about 35 years, you're 15. What do you be? Will be 45.
Something like that.
Yeah, think about how much money you would have if you actually opened up a mutual fund and put your savings away. So that's the other thing I think we need to think about is that we have to think long term. I think we are always in survival mode. So we don't think about like, oh, I'm gonna need money and as I get older. You do definitely need money as you get older. And that's how people are able to stay wealthy, is because they invest their money, they're thinking long term. They're not thinking about 5-10 years, they're thinking way ahead of time. So that's why people are able to retire. That's why people are able to do and invest in businesses and do different things, because they have the capital, which is money, to do those things. So that's really important. We saw Caprici had your hand up. Caprici?
So while the reason why he told us this is so in the future we don't be homeless, or we could actually have a job and be somewhere and actually have a house and a car.
Yes.
That's right. Hey, check this out. Hey guys, check this out. I'm going to request that they have me back on again because I got to teach you about the 3-fund approach. The 3-fund approach is, one is called wealth building. So when you retire, you never work again. Then there's a midterm fund that you put money in. So in 5 to 10 years, you might want to go do something spectacular. And you got money in that account to do it. But then the most important one is called your dream fund. What is a dream fund? That's that 3 years, that 2 to 3 to 5 years that you've always dreamed of going to maybe do a dream vacation, start buying your dream car, or whatever you dreamed of. You take money out of that account and you pay for your dreams. So you have money in 3 different accounts to stretch your life out. And we'll talk about that again, but you can do it right now. It can work.
I have another question.
Go right ahead.
Are there any risks in doing it?
Well, there's really no risk in mutual funds. Why is there no risk? They say it's risk. And let's just say that the market down, if the market go down and you sell your funds.
The stock market.
Yeah, the stock market, and you sell your shares. Let's say you paid $25 a share and the market goes down and you sell it for $10 a share. That's the time you lose. But if you don't sell it, it's going to come right back up. But the smart thing to do when the market is down, that means the share price now is $5 a share. So if you was willing to pay 25 for one share, wouldn't you be willing to pay 25 for 5 shares? That's how you accumulate wealth. So when the market is down, this is the time you invest your money because the economy is on sale. And when you start owning part of the economy, it creates wealth for you beyond your imagination.
Let me ask you a question. A lot of you all have been here. Have you guys been hearing about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff? Raise your hand. Have you heard anything about that? What have you guys heard about that?
Like going up and down and stuff.
Yes, it goes up and down. And it's like a new way to do money. And it seems like it's quicker, like people are getting a quicker rate of return. And some people have been successful in it. Some people have not. One of the things that's going on with the crypto is that it's not secure yet. So the thing about mutual funds is that these have been around for almost
1928.
Yeah, almost 100 years, right? So your money is secure. If you lose money, like if somebody steals it, it's FDIC secured. The thing about crypto and Bitcoin and all that, that's not secure, right? So if you put your money in, it's a risk you're taking. It's a higher risk that you're taking. But then it also could be a good return. And I know people that have been successful in that, but there's still a very big risk. So some people win, some people don't win. And I know that we be hearing a lot about these different funds. And so it's important for you to do your own research to find out about what's going on and not also think about the quick fix. Like people want to make money so quick, and then what happens is that's not sustainable and it's not long term. So we're really trying to teach you things that have been around for a long time, things that you can definitely research on your own and you can find out, but it really is what it's about. I mean, the other things is like, insurance. I know you all have had family members or know of family members that have had to have GoFundMes, that have had to, they don't have the money that they need in that moment to be able to bury their family sometimes. But the thing about it is, not only is it hard to sometimes bury them because you don't have the money, but then you also lose that income. That person was contributing to that household. So it's like learning all these different things and how to be financially secure and independent. When you learn those things, then you make really smart decisions. And in the long term, they pay off.
I want to share this with all of y'all on here because all of y'all look, you're still in school. I want you to tell your parents this. There's a program, it's called the 529 plan. And every time your mom and dad, even you, every time you guys make purchases of groceries, clothes, cars, phones, computers, laptops, houses, take trips, they'll take a percentage of that money and contribute to your college fund so you can have money when you go to college, from money that's already being spent. When you buy gas, they take a part of that. So that's so important. We can't get into that right now. I just want to put that in your mind and think about it and talk to your parents, because I teach that class too. And so therefore, they don't have to come out of pocket with a lot of money. It also lessens what you owe if you can't get it all. So therefore, it make a major impact. and what you can start going to college with. You can start with 50,000, 60,000.
Especially if your
over
parents that started when you're very young.
That's correct.
Yes. So the thing that I'm going to end with is that I want to ask the question, how many of you all have heard about Black Wall Street? Raise your hand. Okay, I want to ask, and I want to hear from you all what you've heard about Black Wall Street. Thank you, Joaquin. You've been very participatory. Shahad, is that your name? I'd love to hear. Amari, say your name?
And
Mariah.
And Mariah. I would love to hear what you know about Black Wall Street, if you wouldn't mind sharing. Raise your hand. I want to hear what you know about it.
I don't really know about Black Wall Street.
Okay.
I just heard the name. I haven't heard anything about it, really.
Okay. Shahad?
Black Wall Street was basically this street. It's from what I heard. It was just like street where it was a bunch of Black people, but they all had like businesses and like schools and hospitals and churches and grocery store that was all run by Black people. So they were keeping the money literally within themselves.
Correct. I wanted to end with Black Wall Street because that was like in the 1940s, 1930s, and 1940s. So that was over 70 years ago. So it is this thought that, we were slaves and then now we're here, but that's not actually the case. There have been Black communities, and there are Black communities now in the United States. I lived in Atlanta for 18 years. Atlanta is a very large Black African-American community. There's a lot of Black businesses. There's doctors, there's lawyers, there's so many different people that you can see that look like you that are doing really well and that are actually in these leadership positions. We don't see that as much in Sacramento. We have a couple here and there, but there are still Black communities that are thriving and they're keeping the money in their community. I think it's really important to learn more about Black Wall Street because we Black people did have communities. It's not just Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That community was bombed by the United States, and it was sanctioned by the United States because white communities neighboring, they went and basically invaded that community and basically bombed it and burned it down and took over the property and the businesses. And so that's one of the tragedies that we're learning about now in the United States. And there's so many others, but I want to make sure that people understand that we have always had ways to create wealth and money in our communities. We still do it today. Like back in the day, they used to do the numbers game. So that's the number game where you would tell somebody a number and they would I don't know where they decided the number was. They would pick the number, somebody would pick the number, then whoever got that number right, they would then pay the people that played. It was essentially lottery, but that was way back in the day. We've been doing different innovative and creative things to create money and wealth in our community. And so it's really important for us to think about finances and even talking to your parents about finances. And these are not things that are taught in your school. And so we wanted to just bring some information to you for you to learn more. And of course, like my dad said, he's helped families every day. He's been doing this work for over 25 years. And so, and Miss Felicia does the same thing. So it's really important for you to learn how money works. Think about how you want to invest, how you want to increase your investments, and make sure that you can be successful, because you don't have to be homeless. You can buy houses and cars. It's a lot of different things that you need to learn about. But if you put an interest and time and energy in that, you can do well. And
Yes.
You do not have to have a vow of poverty. You can actually make a difference, not only your life, but the life of your family and your communities. So that'll be the conclusion of our presentation. Thank you for having us, and let us know if there's anything else Any questions or anything you'd like from us for the rest of today?
Of course, you know, my number is in chat, so you can take my number and you can call me at any time, even when you have questions, just call me and I'll answer your questions. I mean, just because you're in your teens don't mean anything. I'll answer your questions.
Yeah.
Because if you got a question and you want to know, then you call me and I'm going to give you the answer. So I'm going to support whatever you need done. And we're going to be rich together. It's enough money for everybody. Okay? All right. You guys,
thank you guys for being here and talking to the boys, pouring to them. And I'll put the letter in the email to the parents so they'll have it. And again, you guys, you know, take advantage of this. It's a free resource. You know, people charge thousands of dollars for this knowledge
that's for sure.
to get help. So, you know, he says he's willing to, you know, help you and your family. So we want to thank Ms. Christi and Mr. Franklin for being here. Anybody have any questions or?
One thing I wanted to ask my dad to share, is there a book that you would recommend?
Hey, check this out. There's this book. It's called The ABCs of Kids Making Money. I'm gonna get the book. I'm gonna pull it up because I used to teach that out of that book, and it had creative ideas of what these kids did to make money. Unbelievable. I learned so much in that book, it blew my mind. And I'm gonna find the book, get the book, and then there's how many on here? 1, 2, 3. So there's 5. So that means I'm gonna find the books and see if I can get you about 5 or 6 books. And you can start reading in the book to start learning stuff. And then we'll start giving you other books to learn about financial matters so that you can see that if they can do it, you can too, and you can become wealthy by the time you're 15.
So Felicia, you heard that. Follow up with him so that we can make that
There's
happen.
8 boys. Some of them couldn't make it tonight because they're out.
Okay, so there's 8. Okay, so that means I need to find 10 books, huh?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get it done.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Thank
see you
you.
guys later. It's been a ball, that's all.
Boys, stay on. Bye. So I sent your parents an email. So this month, the reading part is going to be online. So there's an online class for financial literacy. I put the link in the chat. I also emailed it to your parents. I think only one person has signed up so far. So if you guys can get on there, sign up for the class. There's a pre-test and there's a game. So it's a game. It teaches you about saving. You're going to do your own little lemonade stand. It has some math. So it's really, really cool. And again, you know, April is Financial Literacy Month. So I thought that would be, you know, really good for you guys as reading. So you can do some reading comprehension, math. So again, it's learning about money and stuff. So you guys can get on there, do the pre-test in the game by April 22nd. You guys have any questions about that?
So that's online.
Yes, online.
You said you sent our parents the email.
Yeah. So that you could sign up through your parents' email if you don't have one and just make an account. Huh?
I'll check it. Me and my mom will check it.
Okay. All right. So you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. We got 30 minutes. Les Shahad, do you want to ask them anything? Have anything to share with them?
The information I was giving to you guys today is really important, like really important, because even me now, I mean, I got the money, but it's like I don't got nothing to do with it. And them showing you and teaching you that you guys can make money and have your money make you money without you really having to do anything. That's really, really important. So, I mean, you guys are all kind of young now, but like when you get to that age where y'all start making your own money and it's enough to invest, y'all should definitely remember this day and what you guys learned today, because you guys can end up with a lot of money in the long run. Yeah,
All right.
that's my
Thank
story.
you. Yeah, I started my son's. He's 2. He already has money stacking up.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. All right. You guys have a good night.
All right.
All right.
All right, bye.
Good night.
You guys have a good weekend. Good break.
Dude.